Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to the ESL One Katowice group stage as we get ready to hop into the second series. Welcome back again to the ESL studios. We're not in Katowice, but we are in Cologne, where they have this lovely setup behind us, and there's a lot of people doing real work back there. Look at that guy. He's killing it. But Lacoste and Basecamp, how you guys doing?
Us who are not doing real work, we're just blabbering about video games.
Talking about video games, man. That's good times.
It's amazing. But we do have the Vodafone pre-match too, and a great match coming up. Secret just hot off their series against OG. They won, and now they're facing off against Forward.
Well, they won 1-1 game.
Yes.
It was 1-1, which makes this group significantly more interesting to me because I really did think that Secret were just going to run all over it. But now there's a chance that depending on the results that they have against the other teams, OG or Secret are going to end up being in that that #1 spot. So we'll see how it goes.
And I think that coming into this series, you can't help but feel like it's Secrets that are, again, going to be the favorites. But you can sometimes come out with some sort of weird strats. Forward definitely could maybe throw something in there that Secret
maybe some more
expecting.
support Luna. Maybe that would be...
oh, yeah, teach Secret how to play support Luna. That's a great idea.
That's a fantastic...
Not.
Did you just do a not joke?
Not.
It is just straight up Borat right here.
Yeah.
My God.
I mean, if someone's going to be inventing new strats, it's going to be Team Secret and Puppy. So if you want to copy it, you need to realize the big picture behind it. We saw Forward Gaming picking a 5-man push lineup where they need to go as 5, get the team fighting items, and they failed to do so. So on paper, this looks all Secret, but Forward Gaming, I think they have a couple of aces in their sleeves.
Hey, he doesn't play for them anymore, though. Basecamp, we have the one Polish player in this entire tournament on this team. It's not that one, it's actually that one over by you. But Mr. Nisha himself, the young fellow, he obviously had a good showing on Kingwin last year. They didn't do everything that they would have wanted, but now he's playing again on Secret. We saw last game the Spectre that happened over on the other stream. How do you feel like he's been sort of working on Secret so far?
I think he's been looking great. It can be a little bit difficult, I think, to tell though with some of these players, especially when they join a team like Secret, to know exactly how good they are. If
he's good.
He's good, but they're getting I feel like they're probably getting a lot of directions and stuff from the really experienced players. But honestly, that's what these teams have been looking for, right? They want the hot, mechanically skilled player, and then they can teach them what they need to teach them about like the overall strategy and whatnot. And we've seen that time and time again. And I feel like Nisha has kind of been looking like Anna was looking on OG in some of their stronger moments. So he's been certainly very solid.
And a man brings tear to my eye every time.
Don't be sad. He's doing what he's doing.
Oz Dota rising.
How happy were you when they won and you're just like, Australian agency?
Yeah, look, I was there in the crowd. There were some people like not too far behind me with their Aussie flag. Yeah. There was some Aussie chants going on. It was phenomenal. It was actually so good.
And there's one more cool Aussie that we haven't seen. That's Parker. What?
Oh,
no. Who else?
KP.
KP. He's not my
here.
boy. Maybe he's your
he's
boy.
Not your boy. He's my boy.
Parker's my boy.
We also have another Australian on this team. Resolution is. That's not true. But they do have another carry player.
His grandmother is 13.4% Australian.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. That's some stats right there for you.
Yeah.
But
who needs the Haas?
The reason I was going to bring it up is the sort of comparison with Nisha, the other carry player, who I feel like is at times not always like done. Like with Nisha, I always feel like I see him playing around with his team a little bit. Resolution kind of will sometimes go off and do his own thing. I think about Resolution split pushing while the other 4 make space for him, and that's sort of a different style. Whereas Secret, sometimes they play a little bit more together. I don't know if that's just something in my head, or what do you guys think?
I do think that they tend to... they both play a little bit of 4 Protect 1 sometimes, but in Secret's case, I think they typically give Nisha the really safe farm on the map. They'll carve out this little pocket for him to farm in, and then that'll be protected by the supports. And Resolution as a player tends to go for the more aggressive kind of split push style, like Life Stealer up in your face. He kind of pushes the borders a little bit more. And that can be a bit boom or bust, a bit feast or famine when it comes to carry play. Like if you get away with it, you're creating tons of space and getting tons of farm. But if the enemy team has the heroes to punish you for it, then all of a sudden it can look not so great.
But I think the best strength of Team Secret is that mid one can play those sacrificial carries, and he creates a lot of space, and they give Nisha always a better matchup, and that's one of the reasons why Nisha shines, besides being mechanically skilled and just young, talented player. Okay. We discussed about Kingwin. Like, all of the other players disappeared, and he's the only one who...
Yeah.
He looked the best in that team, and there's a reason why he's on Team Secret right now.
And that's the thing to me that's so interesting about his story, too, because when I think back to the time on Kingwin, he was the focal point of so many of their drafts, to the point where they were running mid-Medusas for him, and then they had exotic... Or they had... God, who the heck was it, the carry player? It wasn't Exotic Deer. Anyways, they had their carry player playing Dazzle in the position 1 role just so they could grave Dusa, so they had like that extra save for Nisha. So to me, at least, it feels like having that like entire team built around him and then showing he could shine. Then he comes here, plays for Secret, and he still hasn't shown off everything that he can do, I don't think. But we do have a draft that we can hop into now as we get ready to go into this game at #1, Secret versus Forward. And man, oh man, I'm excited for the drafting phase. I think more than anything, because I think you have Puppy, SVG, amazing captains with innovative ideas about Dota.
Yeah, I'm especially excited to see Secret this tournament, because I think that this patch, the sub-patch, has changed things up quite a bit. And I think Secret are probably the one team in this tournament that has a lot of wiggle room to be able to experiment, like especially in the group stage. I feel like Secret are going to be the one team to look at. And I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe also Chaos are the other ones that I'm looking at maybe bringing in some weird stuff and making it work. So always looking forward to seeing games from those two teams.
Oh, Pango and Chaos, name more iconic duo. Mantavo is the expert of the hero, but we've seen more and more Pangos being played on a mid lane. I think we saw it in the previous series as well when Secret played, and all these small changes in the patches, I think it benefits Team Secret because they like to experiment with different picks. I think during the Chongqing Major, we had they were the team with the most heroes picked. You can't really argue with that, considering that they were in the final, so they played most of the games, and but still very versatile as a team, and they tend to experiment with their picks, which is one of the reasons why Team Secret is so popular.
Man, Coddle's still getting first phase banned here.
It's still a great hero. You just can't use it twice.
You can use it twice.
I mean, you can use it twice, but it's not
it
as
just covers
effective.
more. Yeah, it covers more area. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily give you a stronger lockdown.
Yeah, but what about the third one?
Hey,
I didn't say anything about the third one.
The third one is also synced.
It's also a second one. If you count from second,
they're all synced. Yeah, it's a second one. It's not a third one. The one thing as well, I think, for Secret this tournament is that I would say they almost need to be innovating a little bit as well. With the lay of the land, they are not only in this tournament, but maybe sort of in the wider game. I think they might be one of the teams with the biggest target on their back. And when you've got that, you know that every team has come into this tournament preparing at least a little bit for Secret, right? When you are that team that everybody's got their eyes set on, they're going to be preparing for your drafts, and they're going to try and think one step ahead of you. So if you're Team Secret, you have to then try and be one step ahead of the meta as well, and be the ones really forging the meta for the patch.
And but one thing I noticed about the Team Secret is their banner. During CK Major, it's still written in Chinese.
Hey.
Yeah, so this could be the strength.
I mean, we're not in China anymore, though. Look out. It all falls apart now. Forward Gaming, they're going to pull it together now. The one thing that I will say about that, though, is it feels like we're at a state in Dota where it's much less about like coming in with a specified strat, and it's much more about like counterpicking and having like this one thing that your draft is built around an idea, or even sometimes not having something that it's built around at the beginning. You just take second pick maybe and you know, counter pick what the other person is doing and figure it out along the way.
Talking about counter picking, where's my boy Witch Doctor when there's a Nature's Prophet being first phased? He received a couple of buffs. I think we could saw him being played.
I miss that hero. It's a fun hero.
Yeah, Witch Doctor's cool. The support pool at the moment is kind of, or at least the last couple of patches, didn't really feel that great. We had a lot of Lich, we had a lot of Grimstroke, bits and pieces of Rubik here and there. But it does feel like there's quite a few supports at the moment that aren't really seeing any play. To me, notably, like Bane and Shadow Demon feel like they're not very relevant, and that was also, I think, part of the rise of Lifestealer. Like,
Boy, Shadow Demon, not...
It's not played that much. I mean, maybe you guys were talking about seeing some games with Shadow Demon.
Yeah, man.
But
Shadow Demon's the boss.
But we
I
saw
think
him play...
he's going to get picked so much, even on the mid lane. Because
But that's where we saw more.
Yeah. Because of the mana cost lowered on his third spell, so he can actually spam it.
But I get what you're saying.
There it is. There's my boy.
Look at him go.
That shouldn't have taken them that long, right? They should. if they use anything less than this 30 seconds of time that they have allocated for the second pick, then they've just like wasted some time here. But all right, they do respond with the Witch Doctor, and like you're saying, nice against the Nature's Prophet. The Cask is pretty solid against the Treants. It's got pretty good base damage. We've been seeing a little bit more of people getting points in the heal recently, I would say, as well. It used to be very much like very Maledict focused.
Yeah, but Maledict got buffed, so I expect him to get Maledict again maxed out. Depends where
Depends
he's
on the
gonna
heroes they're up
lane.
against as
Yeah,
well, right?
exactly.
If you're up against an Underlord or a DK or something like that, these big tanky heroes where the Maledict damage is going to be super useful.
I want to see some Tusk, some Elder Titan right now.
Who
Position
the hell is
4.
play Witch Doctor?
Oh,
Oh shit!
Unlimited coconuts.
The double coconuts. Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Unlimited.
Can I talk to you guys for a second about my thoughts on Grimstroke, since we talked about it a little bit earlier?
Sure.
Not big, long cooldown ultis. You throw Grimstroke together with somebody that has low cooldown, very strong disables. And it's not like the strongest disable in the world, but Witch Doctor Cask seems so neat. It's just ping pong of death.
I think it's extremely weak opener from forward. Witch Doctor and Grimstroke. You have two heroes who don't have any kind of escape mechanism, and you need to have a reliable stun, either from position 4 or from position 3. So
Yeah, they have no initiation right now. Like,
if the game is
initiate-
not going well, my point is, if the game is not going well, there's no way for you to make any kind of rotations with these two supports.
Yeah, their initiation is Witch Doctor runs up and tries to throw a cask
Yeah.
at somebody, and that's just not the way that you can play Dota.
What
So-
about, all right, what about, I mean, but you can sometimes solve that with your off lane, like Centaur
Sure.
potentially.
Sure.
Centaur seems very good here if I'm forward.
Yeah, Centaur's
Like,
potentially.
It solves the
All right.
initiation problem.
Well, the Centaur's still going to take time to. So what we're talking about is kind of if you lose the laning stage and then that 10 to 20-minute kind of window is where you're at risk, and Centaur helps with that a little bit. I guess the Stampede is
That's
good.
what I mean mainly, is the
But,
Stampede,
yeah.
is the initiation.
But
that
also
they have.
the opener, which Forward Gaming went with, is really vulnerable to some of the heroes that were kind of on the rise. Ember Spirit. We're gonna see some more Storm Spirit. You don't have any kind of a lockdown for these heroes.
Yeah, they don't have a ton of play against Lifestealers still either. Like I don't see where.
Oh yeah, that's a good call. Like Lifestealer does not give
doesn't
a damn
care about
about
either of these two supports,
Either
yeah.
of these two heroes. Yeah.
Like
I mean,
he's-
you can ulti him with Grimstroke, which is kind of annoying to play around.
he can just either stay far enough away from his team that it's not a problem, or you can just like hide in the infest and just wait it out. I don't think it's a big deal for him. And the silence can be minorly annoying, but it's just, I don't think it's a big deal for Lifestealer.
Yeah, the projectile is so slow. You can always use Rage. There it is. Pango being banned out. Crystal Maiden Pango is a combo that we're gonna see way more. I think Crystal Maiden received a couple of buffs, and she enables Pango to use his spells more efficiently, more often.
Does Puppy play Earth Spirit at all?
He can, I think. Yeah, I've seen him play it before.
Could be. I think it's a pretty decent Earth Spirit game here. It would create a ton of opportunity for the Crystal Maiden to just kind of AFK farm. I think that's what Secret need to look for here is one of those like melee position 5s that's really item independent. So your ETs, your Spirit Breaker, kind of Ogre, Earth Spirit, any of these heroes that can make a lot happen without really being too greedy about it, and then they can just have an enormous Crystal Maiden. Maybe go for the Midas again on Yapsor. I think he went for that in the previous series. But,
Why Void?
It's a resolution staple. If you want resolution to carry a game for you, I think Faceless Void is a good choice. But it is weird against what Secret have so far. I don't think it's really a good pick against Secret's lineup, but I think it's just a comfort pick for forward.
If they want to go with hero like a Tiny, it could work. All these 3 heroes, really low HP, and again, Crystal Maiden brings a lot to the table when you have these mana-dependent heroes. All right, they're going for late game.
See, I don't know. This is what sort of scares me about the Void too. Is like, if he's going to need to go BKB to deal with CM, and then he's also probably going to need to get like a Battle Fury or something to be able to deal with Nature's Prophet
please,
Sprout.
No.
Because like you
get a Battle Fury.
to like Sprout inside of Chronosphere is pretty annoying even. You know what I mean?
You don't have to upgrade your Quelling Blade.
You don't have to? All right, fair enough. You just keep your Quelling Blade when you're 6-slotted?
Yeah, but sure, why not?
Okay, I guess that's fair. Well, Spectre is the pick. And apparently this is what Secret think is strong.
It got a very minor buff in the recent patch, if I remember correctly. Like it was a tiny like notice me buff. Like I feel like sometimes there are these buffs that heroes get, and IceFrog is like, I want to put this hero in the patch notes.
Right.
And I want people to start picking it, but I'm not going to give it a buff that's like actually significant. So it's like Spectral Dagger slow increased by 2%. Yeah. And then the pros read the patch notes and they're like, oh yeah, Spectre's a hero. Of course.
Underlord. Oh yeah, that's Universe Classic.
Yeah, where's their damage?
It still doesn't fix really their catch problems either. Like it's just Void to start fights.
It's a lot of damage in Chrono. Witch Doctor, Underlord.
It is good against Nature's Prophet. It's kind of against the Nature's Prophet style push and the split push. It's very good, but
I'm afraid about their ability to actually engage into a team fight when Chrono is on cooldown.
Yeah, how do they kill Spectre? Actually, I guess they gotta like Chrono and then Death Ward, maybe, but
you need to get the Maledict on him too. And that's the thing is like so often I feel like. You're going to Chrono Spectre probably on the backside of the Chronosphere, which means that Witch Doctor might not be able to get in range for a Maledict.
Yeah. The other thing is that these 2 supports are just fodder for Spectre. Like Spectre jumps in on Grimstroke or Witch Doctor, they have 0 counterplay really at all. Sure, they can try and buy like a Glimmer Cape or something like that, but once Spectre is on you as one of these 2 supports, there's just no escape really.
All right, question: are we going to see Viper this game?
Ooh, as the like Spectre counter?
Yeah.
Could be good.
I don't want to see it.
Are we going to see a green hero?
I think there might still be room for a
Pugna. I think Pugna or Viper if they want to go for to round up Forward Gaming's lineup. Monkey King, you're playing against Faceless Void, Underlord. This hero is just going to feel great.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea. I mean, this is the thing that I feel like is weird about Forward's gaming. I don't like their draft going late. And early game, I don't think they have enough pressure to like end the game because Faceless Void doesn't provide any tower hitting. So I think they're in a really rough spot right now, just draft-wise.
Yeah, I think the Void pick has put their draft in a weird place.
Yeah.
Like the position that they picked it in. I think even if they had... Like, they did pick the Underlord in response to the Spectre a little bit, but I think if they had fished for a little bit more information, then maybe they wouldn't have taken this Void. But now they're stuck on this Void path.
Or I'll mention one more hero that could benefit from this chrono. It gives them tower damage. It's green. Death Prophet.
So some old school like Chinese Dota
Yeah.
Void Death Prophet strat. How's the DP's lane against Monkey King? I guess is the matchup. It sounds okay. For
It's okay.
Death Prophet.
You can dodge Crypt Swarm, I guess.
Probably quite easily.
Maybe on
Yeah.
the Pugna.
Yeah, so Pugna, Team
Okay.
Secret thinks that's their biggest threat against Monkey with the Decrypify, and they had Lash in the previous game. Zai played it,
So who's playing what here?
Puppy 5, mid 1
Is
Monkey,
it Maiden
Nisha,
5?
yeah, and Lash. They could still swap things around and have Nature Prophet as 3 if they want to,
Okay.
but I think it's going to be Lash.
Lash 3.
Yeah.
So then Prophet and Maiden are supports.
Exactly.
Okay.
Also, the Monkey King lane against Underlord is so nice if they wanted to try and
That's
switch
true.
things up.
They could try and get that matchup
They
going.
could also swap things around, considering the matchup. Have Monkey as 4, Nature Prophet 3, Lash Rack mid. So everything's still open for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And forward, very little reserve time left. Just
Oh, yikes.
I mean, it is a Yawar hero. This is like something that he's super comfortable on, so I can understand that point of view. But it does... I mean, actually, I think like the chrono into arrow thing can be kind of nice in the mid game.
I don't think that's game winning.
I don't think that's a
like
combo.
that.
No, but you can kill anybody, right? Like that's the
That's
thing.
true.
if they haven't died in the duration of the chrono, though, I think you're in trouble.
At least in the early game, I don't know if that's as true. Like you use it as a gank. You find a kill with it, and I think that can be strong enough sometimes. Just like a gank to a lane and a secured kill.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
mid game,
I find their lineup extremely weak. No tower damage. They're relying on a successful Chronosphere, 2-3 man Chronosphere.
Yeah,
Even
it's
if they
rough.
land it, I'm afraid they're not going to have enough damage in the Chrono. And there's 0 counters for this Spectre. If this game drags post 35 minutes, it's going to be tough for them.
Yawar needs to go off. That's the man. I feel
Yeah.
like. But we'll have to see. I mean, so you're all on Secret Train. How about you as well? Base
Yeah,
skip?
yeah, I think so. I don't think it's a difficult spot to pick Secret here.
That's true. You like the
You
team
guys saw
more.
the betting odds pop up as well.
Right.
If you're feeling forward, then
It's the game.
yeah.
Then you're going backwards. Is that the saying?
I think. Well, if you think forward are going to win this, then there's some pretty good odds that you could go and
Hey.
get right now. That's what I'm saying.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, game number 1, Forward in their sweaters versus Team Secret in the jerseys. We're
Do you
gonna
like the
say-
sweaters? I think I like
nice.
them.
They're good. I don't know why MSS's is different from everybody else's, but we're going to say goodbye to Lacoste now, and it's Base Kip and myself. Oh, man. Hello, hello.
All right, good to be here.
Yeah, I don't know why he handed you his microphone.
We were talking about whether or not I would need to switch mics, but I think I've got just enough slack on mine. So
Oh, you guys are amazing. You're on it. You're killing it.
yeah, we're thinking about that stuff.
All right, now are we going to see the Monkey King try and go for the same strats that we saw before where he can go and snipe a courier? I don't think so. It doesn't look like it's happening. I also have no control over my camera, so I'm going to go do a real quick reload. But that's fine, because I got my man Scriff taking care of everything. And yeah, he's spotting out the Monkey King down there doing some shifty business. Look at that guy go.
Yeah, so it is going to be that. It is going to end up being the Zai Lesh. Nisha looks like he's heading mid on the Spectre, and they are trying to get this Monkey King matchup up
Yeah.
against the Underlord. So it'll be interesting to see how the scouting goes, and if we'll have just some musical chairs for the lanes.
I mean, that is the deadly thing, right? If you can get that Spectre matchup elsewhere, like if they could find something else. I mean, is there any matchup that Spectre absolutely hates in this one?
No, I think the Spectre does okay in any lane here. She would probably prefer not to play into the pressure from the Underlord, which is why they're making this swap. It's probably the most annoying lane for the Spectre in this situation.
And not often that you expect the Spectre mid, but it does look quite good in this one. Although Mirana heading there, and so
Yeah.
is the Underlord. They're going to send the Underlord mid. So good recognition by Forward that this could be coming their way.
Yeah, they made the ultra safe play, like having them both go mid, and now they're walking the Mirana, so they don't have to lose sort of the teleport advantage, though mid one is also responding by just walking over towards mid lane. So that they will lose a little bit with Nisha's now TP'd. So
yeah, but they're walking the Mirana back. So Universe is going to head out of here.
Yeah, exactly. But now the Spectre is stuck at bottom, right? So forward are the ones who get to make the final decision about how these lanes will be set.
Oh, easy peasy for themselves. Still, you are going to have to deal with this Monkey King. Really good range on the Mirana. And can also go for the arrow onto creeps to secure CS. Although, arguably, you could just walk in and block that as the Monkey King also.
Yeah. It's a pretty good matchup, though. The thing for me with mid one's Monkey King is that he never really needs... it's never really that much about the farm. He just wants the levels so he can run around. Ooh. Samus dead. Puppy?
Oh, punches! He's sending the treants. They're going in.
Oh my god.
That movement speed.
Treants are disgusting.
The movement speed.
Just the treants are absolutely ridiculous. 325 move speed, 36 damage. Yeah, it's crazy. This is like the one thing that this hero has going for it now is just ridiculous level 1 stats.
They had to burn through the salve as well.
Yep.
Ooh, not a great time. Not a great time for a hero indeed. So, well, it does look like up top at least, the lanes are going okay for the Faceless Void. 10-3 right now, in comparison to the 4-0 for the Leshrac. And mid one against the Mirana has been kind of under fire. So 5-1 versus 3-2. A little bit strange because we had all that movement early on.
Yeah, it's going to make all the CS scores look kind of weird because there were heroes that were sitting in lanes and there were heroes that were just running around all over the place. Witch Doctor is going for a point and heal early on here. This top lane from Secret is really scary just in terms of how much spam they have. Like, Yapsor is going to go for some points in the Arcane Aura early on here, so Xayah is going to have a lot of mana to work with. And MSS is hoping for a courier snipe here with this invis. He's only got a few seconds left. But can he get it?
It's really, really close. He's going to be out of there, though. Unfortunate, because that would have been the perfect timing.
Yeah. If he could see it, he might be able to get on the way back. But unfortunately, mid one is in the fog right now. So, and it's now 3 minutes. So,
is a flying courier. You will spot it there.
He's a flapping. Does Secret really have the default courier?
Hey, man, you know.
So what's going on here? Who is...
Somebody's messing up, that's for sure.
Yeah. Someone's got to up their hat game, I think.
The other one is very nice. It's a little Doom lane. So bottom lane, MSS moves down there, is going to pull the creep wave back. That gives it a little bit of a better time for Universe, who is going to be ran at a little bit by Nisha here. Going for a 2-1-1 build. So it has some nice damage there as well. Some early Desolate. But looks like is going to have a perfectly fine time. 23-5. So not a ton of pressure being put on by this Underlord.
Yeah, Nisha's just chilling, really. And there aren't too many ways to set up kills on him like we were talking about. Forward Gaming just don't really have the best ganking support, so there's so much pressure on Yuar this game to be able to move around and find kills. Like, if he can somehow find chain kills on the Spectre, then I think Forward have some kind of a chance. But
just finding the kill onto SVG, and Rezo needs to get out of there. Yeah, that is one downside, which Doctor occasionally can get taken out, and MSS forced to pop the Inkswell and run away from Spectre. So 2-0 start already for Secret. And throws out the stun there onto Yuar as well. Mid one now having a very nice time against him, 17-6.
Yeah, I mean, he's going even on CS here. He is using the Mischief really, really nicely to dodge all of the Starstorm harassment. It's not particularly difficult to dodge since it is a really big animation, but still nicely done. Oh, they're trying to gank Nisha down here.
Oh, this would be nice if they could get it, but we'll finally throw out that dagger, and now actually decides to turn on SPG, who's blocked in by his own creeps, and now they have the Inkswell moving forward for this one.
Nisha's
not gonna
playing
find
with
it. They're also TPing in. The Monkey mid one shows up. SVG's just been trapped in here by the full creep wave. They might have even been drawing aggro while that was happening to keep the creeps in close, but nonetheless, big win there as they take down the Monkey, or rather take down the Witch Doctor.
Nisha knew that he was under no threat of dying at all. They just don't have the lockdown. As soon as he throws the Spectral Dagger into the trees, he's just gone. Nobody can keep vision on him. They won't be able to chase him. So he just bought all of that time to make sure that they got the turnaround kill. This is the disadvantage of the forward support duo.
And Zai going for the double crown build. Kind of interesting there. As MSS is going to hit there onto the stun. So probably going to go for a Veil in a bit. This is the new answer to, instead of going for null talismans, go for the crowns.
Yeah, that's nice. They got a lot of magical damage. We can only assume that YapzOr is going to have a BKB at some point. So the freezing field's going to do a lot of damage. Spectre, Nisha might go for a similar build to last game, maybe picking up the Manta and then going back for Radiance. MSS might just get burned down here.
So much damage out from that Diabolic Edict. 2 points in it. Doesn't need Lightning Storm at all.
No, this is the old school build, and Zai's really making it work for them. He is also sort of the only building damage that their team has, so I think it's important that he maxes the Edict this game.
Oh my god, they immediately haunt in as soon as he used his Time Walk. That was sick. Oh, really good recognition there. And Nisha's going to get back into lane afterwards. So as soon as Void Time Walks, they have the stun afterwards and the follow-up, and then they just need that extra bit of damage coming in from Nisha.
Yeah. Oh man, are they using the... Wait, Nature's Prophet Sprout, if you tango it now, counts as... It's the double value,
yeah,
right?
That's
so
a good point.
they are. Puppy is casting Sprout to give Nisha more regen.
They
is
use
so
the
cool.
glyph, meanwhile, in the bottom lane to try and get the push going, but Universe is going to be saved here as mid one showed up.
Man, that is some new support profit tech, actually. Being able to cast Sprout to give your carry bonus regen. Oh, man.
Don't even have to plant a tree for him now. Resolution in some trouble, though. We'll get the Inkswell movement speed and get out of there.
Oh, Yawar completes this TP. They have to find a kill off of this.
And it's not going to happen. It's just too slow.
Oh, man.
That really hurts. So 5-0 start, a 3,000 gold lead at 7.5 minutes in. And the main thing that happened was just that rotation from Nisha, which wasn't even a rotation. And I guess, of course, the dive that happened around him as well.
It's just that all of the little movements from Secret have been so much better. Though I think Secret would still be winning this game right now, even if they hadn't made all of these cute little plays, right? Like the finding the quick kill on the Void up top, or kind of baiting in the Witch Doctor. It's just, it's not been looking great.
No. Well, it does look like now all of the top net worths inhabited by Secret, and it's not like it's an insurmountable lead right now. If you take a look at it, you've still got the Mirana and the Void and Underlord that are doing okay, but they're going to need to find some kills with their level 6s most likely.
Yeah, the pressure is 100% on forward gaming here. They're the ones that have to make plays, they have to try and make things happen, and that unfortunately falls completely to Yawar and the occasional Chronosphere from Resolution, though Rezo is just going for a Midas. So,
okay, well, we're probably going to just be trying to hold off as long as possible as SVG will die. And there's not a whole hell of a lot that his buddy Resolution could do to stop that one, for sure. Zai was off in the jungle.
yeah.
So, MSS trying to secure a rune or just get a ward down, but he's also going to be found. So, Zai, the murderer of supports.
Yeah, he's just positioning himself nicely, and then the Edict does all of the work against these squishy forward gaming supports. He doesn't even have to try and land the stun. He can just move, click on him, and away you go.
381 movement speed, ain't no joke.
Yeah, and they just haven't done anything about Nisha all this time as well. They got two heroes creating tons of space, and Nisha is just doing whatever he wants. They have another haunt soon, so if they want to try and spoon feed him a kill, they could go for it.
Oh, that would have been it, I feels like, but doesn't quite find that. And now moving into position is SVG on the Witch Doctor, but with no level 6, it's unlikely to net them a kill. So they're still keeping it, I mean, somewhat close in terms of the top net worth. The big difference is going to be these two supports that are each about 1,000 and a bit ahead of the other supports on the side of forward.
And YapzOr is just gunning for a Midas this game. Like, there's no reason not to. Can quite easily pick it up, and then once you get all that bonus experience, get into your HP talent, get into your GPM, secure your Blink BKB, and just be a total force to be reckoned with this game.
We were talking about it. With the changes to CM, it's like, this is the perfect YapzOr hero. He runs around, he farms, he finds some kills, gets a ton of gold, and then can ulti people with a ton of armor.
Yeah, it was a good YapzOr hero before, and now it's an even better one.
Yeah.
So Secret just making such good use of the map here. And they're not getting punished for it at all because Forward don't have any catch. They don't have any ways to set up kills. They are going for a smoke right now with MSS and UR. But where exactly the smoke is going to actually connect, I'm not sure. Nisha would be the prime kill, but they need to land like a 4-second arrow to bring him down. And even then, I'm not sure. If he gets the strength treads before any of the damage starts landing, he's going to be very tanky. UR just looks lost, to be honest. Doesn't know where to go and play. Doesn't have any supports to really connect to. So
yeah, that's really the thing,
he's
right?
just floating.
He needs that Chronosphere to set up the kill for him because there is nothing else in this game that sets up for it. And unfortunately, that's not really going to be that viable right here. And they jump forward. They have the Chronosphere available if they wanted to use it, but Resolution just gets brought down solo. And that's the thing, right? Like right there, you could potentially Chrono, but then you don't have anything else that's a threat.
He would have
anyway.
died to the Edict and the Pulse Nova if he had cast that Chronosphere. There is... Yeah, this is a 960 HP Void. He's running around with the Midas. It's very difficult for him to make use of the Chrono.
Yeah.
And Secret, the 2 supports might just get this tower up top just by themselves. The Nature's Prophet plus the Crystal Maiden almost bringing this tier 1 down.
But look at that cask, though.
Oh, yeah. Such counter.
I mean, he's got it. That's fine. So 7-0, 4,000 gold lead. It stayed steady at that, at least, for Forward.
Universe getting run at.
He does have the Pit of Malice down, trying to buy himself a little bit of time, but Monkey King and Zai just say no and finish that man off. This is such a difficult game right here for Forward.
And all the while, there's just that tick-tock, tick-tock. The Spectre is farming. And the Spectre is going to be the be-all, end-all of the late game, this game. And still, nothing has happened to Nisha. No pressure at all. He's even got 4 assists. His kill participation in this game is actually really good.
That's the strength of running this 4 protector with the Spectre. It's just, it's very strong.
Yep.
Well, 5,000 net worth lead now. And a Midas. Soon to be online for CM. They did get one finished off for the Void. He's going back for treads afterwards. But it looks like that's pretty much the only hero on Forward that's going for one of those sort of investing in later stage game. His Universe is just going to get jumped on. A Wukong's command and the root and everything else. He is dead. Silence there as well. You are actually TP'd into that one at very low HP. And just can't really do a whole heck of a lot about it. I think that was a Nature's Prophet ulti that hit him right on the end of it, maybe. But regardless, 6,000 gold. They just jump forward, and MSS trying to get out of there. But Nisha and Mid-1 are in the area and going to finish him off as well. While Nisha was also chasing down SVG, but can't quite get the kill.
Yeah, Secret's so good at looking for these little +1s. The 2 supports from Forward just... you don't normally necessarily talk about counterpicking the supports, but Forward took both of their supports right at the beginning of the draft, and it's made it really easy for Secret to just kind of abuse the support versus core matchups this game to the point where the supports can't get any kills, and they just feel like they're free food for all of the Secret cores.
Just Prophet there helping out, getting down some deep warding as well by the tier 2 tower in the top lane of Dire.
Oh, and it's not going to be the Veil for Zai. It is going to end up being the Rod of Atos. Very annoying for the Faceless Void to play up against. And the Mirana as well, actually. This is such a nice item for Zai. And can use it just as effectively as the Yules to set things up.
Oh, SVG, he's so close to level 6 right now. If they actually get into a fight before he gets his level 6, this is going to feel so bad. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. Although there isn't Treant there. Maybe they can kill the Treant to start the battle, get him level 6. They're looking for the Monkey King under the cover of Moonlight Shadow. Yawar could just think about throwing a random arrow just to get some vision, but it's not going to happen. So the gank does not connect.
Secret are just reading them like a book. Like they know
happening.
that the Chronosphere is off cooldown, and they know that Forward are probably telling themselves like, "Hey, this is a good opportunity for us to try and to do something. Let's go gank to the 15-minute bounty runes." And so Secret just have Puppy stick his neck out to grab the bounty. They keep all of their cores safe, and they have Mid One scouting the entire time. And Mid One also just going to be going for a Midas here because Secret know that they've got the late game if it goes that direction, so why not?
Mid One jumped on. Chrono opens up right at the beginning. They have the Witch Doctor ultimate as well, but broken by Zai. It still should be a kill here onto Mid One as he does go down, but now Leshrac moving in, taking everybody down low, and with the ulti coming out from the Nature's Prophet too, Forward just get completely destroyed, and he lives through all of that.
Yeah, the Glimmer Cape from Puppy keeps him up.
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, and then the rest of Secret just arrive in force. They've got all these nukes. The poor supports from Forward just got annihilated that fight.
I mean, all right, so they kill the Monkey King, but they're able to turn that around completely afterwards. Still, I guess you could say a bit of a win for Void. He gets some gold there. I don't know.
Now the Chrono's on cooldown, so Secret have literally nothing that they have to be afraid of at all. They can just pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and play aggro in all three of these lanes. They can do whatever they want because there's going to be no punish without a Chrono. And look at this, Secret are just all over the Dire side of the map. Like they know that they can put on pressure for the next minute and a half.
Well, the big nuke comes out here as well. SVG, they're fire. They will find a catch there with the Pit of Malice at least to hold them back for a moment, but man, oh man, Secret are doing whatever they want right now. And it does feel like that's going to keep happening until Chrono is back offline, but even at that point, I mean, I don't know. Now with an Aegis soon to be online for Secret, can you even think about contesting at this point for Forward?
Not without the Chrono.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's just the ulting, because why not? A little bit extra damage there.
Easy. Dire scanned the Roche. Yep, sure. Okay.
Yapzor should have been.
You know that it's happening.
Yapzor should have been taking Roche when.
But he would have gotten bashed, and then it would have interrupted his.
That's fair. I wanted the 20 armor meter.
Yeah. Let's see him tank a tower.
There you go. That's the real. Hype.
That's what we need.
He's going for the blink dagger.
Yapzor versus the Fountain. I'm down for that.
Might be not quite enough armor, but regardless, 18 minutes, 10,000 net worth, 13 to 1. And it feels real bad when you're playing against the best team in the world. And that is kind of what Secret feel like over the past couple months, and they're doing it.
Oh yeah, they're looking fantastic this game. They've given away 1 kill the whole game, and they haven't even been playing defensively. Like I've said, I think they could have won this game by just sitting back and spamming and farming. I think they have the better draft, but they're also just finding all of these kill opportunities because their players know exactly how far they can push these heroes. And just Forward, I really think that the Underlord is like a smart pick on paper, but they just seem to be struggling so much without Universe being on a hero that can actively run around and influence the game. He's just getting circles run around him.
Well, they do throw out the Firestorm, summon in some more Treants. They've got these creeps here to tank for them, but it looks like finally Universe is going to be able to force them back while the rest of Forward farm. So that is one nice part about the Forward draft here, at least, is that they can get some split push going a little bit and defend their high ground somewhat.
Sure, but the Spectre lineup just took half of the HP on your tier 3 before 20 minutes, so...
I mean, I'm trying here, Basecamp. I'm trying. You gotta find some silver lining to every stormy cloud.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. Well, what else can they go for here? I mean, we saw the Death Ward and the Chronosphere. That was how they found their kill.
Yep.
Maybe they can get another one with that.
Yeah, certainly a possibility. Resolution's got another Midas activation soon, so BKB's getting a little bit closer.
Wowzer.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Well,
got to look for those positives.
Definitely. And like I said, too, you know, you need this BKB on the Voice. That way he can kind of deal damage in the Chrono. But again, it's kind of been, you are struggling on this Mirana. It's, I think, partially just because they don't have anybody to enable him. There's no setup.
Yeah, there's no, if they had a Disruption or a Nightmare or something, I feel like Yuar would have been able to run around and get a whole lot more done. Because he wanted to. You could see it in his positioning and his movement. He was just wanting to make these plays happen. He went over to contest the top bounties. He drifted towards bottom to see if they could kill the Spectre. But at every turn, his team has just had to tell him, sorry, no, there's no kill to be found here because there just isn't the setup.
God, and Nisha's just chasing him, throwing daggers at him the whole time. Yuar's gonna laugh it off. He'll be fine. But 11,000 net worth lead and Spectre getting close to a Radiance.
Yep.
They do ping out that the Monkey King was jumping around through the trees there and still forward trying to push out that bottom lane to put some counter pressure on. The odds heavily right now. GG bet into favor of Secret. TP back coming from the Monkey King. They know this is happening. The haunt in to try and interrupt and catch. The Atos is there. They got him caught, got him killed. Secret makes it happen while simultaneously getting that tower mid.
That was so nice. Just watching Secret, like 2 heroes TPing on the tier 2, 2 heroes TPing on sort of in the shrine area, and everybody just converges all at once right as the tower goes down. Nothing that Forward could really do to punish it.
And still, you've got these 2 greedy farming supports in Secret that have been able to get everything that they want and more. And as you mentioned earlier, farming and scouting with those treants and jump forward, just gonna completely obliterate MSS. Do they have any way to try to find a kill here? Mid one goes for the dodge away from the damage, and now the Pit of Malice is down as well. SVG wants to get in range, but there's just no opening up here. There's no follow-up. Grimstroke done. Now 16-1 and still Secret doing whatever they want.
Yep. 15K net worth lead. You know, no big deal.
Jeez.
And no reason to do anything different for them. Just keep on farming, keep on letting the Midases run, keep letting Spectre get her items up, and then win the game later on. For Forward, they just have to get this Resolution BKB, and then they have to go and take the first available fight once this BKB is up. That's really their only option. But having your back up against the wall like this makes it very easy for Secret to know what you're doing.
Oh, no. They got him caught. Resolution just goes down. Drops the ulti, drops everything on him. And now mid lane, they do find an opening here on Design. Might be able to get the kill with Yuar and MSS and SVG. That was much needed, but now mid one shows up. He has a DD still. Wukong's command is available. He's gonna go for the just punch down onto SVG, and Nisha cleans it up while they find the root onto MSS. The chase forward for more. 3 dead on Forward. Secret still dominant.
I love Nisha denying mid one stacks there. He had 3 stacks on the Witch Doctor and was just about to get the last hit to get his Jingu Mastery active, and Nisha just glided in and said, nah.
They don't care. This is a dead building. This is a done game almost.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have Radiance that can be built up on the Spectre, but it's not even looking like it's going to matter. Right now, you have the BKB still pretty far away from the Void. You need that item to fight. So 24 minutes in, they lose their tier 3 tower, and it is an opening now to take down shrines for Secret, which is going to set them up for the inevitable Roche fight.
Yeah. Oh, you know Zai's just going to go and edict these shrines. Like,
yeah,
it's no issue at all.
So they start to fall. And meanwhile, a smoke out from Forward, hoping to find somebody, but immediately scanned out. Secret were ready for it instantly.
Secret are all over them. They're showing heroes top, and I think they're even thinking like, oh, well, of course we're showing numbers at top, so Forward aren't going to come to us at top, so they're going to try and gank our Spectre in our jungle, and so they just scan and completely dodge the gank. Nisha just drifts over to some slightly safer farm, and he's fine. Secret are completely in Forward's heads at this point, but that's just because of the position that Forward are in. Like, they don't really have any other plays that they can make. They have to force things now, and that makes it easy for Secret to just hold them at arm's length.
And it does look like that top lane is going to be pushing out enough that Forward are going to need to go and deal with it eventually. Although the catapult is there, so maybe with the next creep wave, it looks like Zai is going to move up and really force their hand. It is BKB online for the Spaceless Void, but it comes out at the same time as the Radiance for the Spectre, and you still have Yawar a bit behind towards his BKB.
Yeah, Rezo's got to kill like 2 people in this chrono somehow. That's the kind of situation that they're in, damage-wise.
Arrow, a little bit off the mark there. Just a jump down from mid one to get away from it. And you know what? I think that actually it might be Yapsor getting the BKB before Mirana. Because he is 300 gold ahead of her right now.
Yep, and he's got a Midas and a GPM talent, so...
Yeah, that's happening.
Yeah, Yapsor is very big. I imagine he's gotten probably both tomes so far.
So. God, he is just out of control right now with this. Okay, Roshan has respawned relatively quick on the respawn there. We'll see if Yapsor decides to let it go again. Doesn't look like it.
And they've already got a Solar Crest on Puppy. So that's going to be either a very scary buff for the Monkey King or the Spectre, or a very scary debuff for any of the forward gaming heroes. But yeah, now we have ourselves an Aegis Spectre. They're going to put the cheese on the Lesh, though they could just...
Oh, is he out a bit too far? Maybe. He could be punished here, but mid one just pops away. And yeah, BKB perfectly fine. They use the Haunt, chasing forward, killing off MSS in just a second with the Radiance Burn. Yes, indeedy. Nisha haunts forward. And mid one thinking about jumping there. Needs to be a little bit careful, but still hangs on to that BKB. And MSS buys back. You've got to take this fight, I guess. That's the thought here.
I suppose.
I mean, game is hard. SVG was trying to split push, but mid one found him. They blow him up. Puppy finds the kill. It's a Chronosphere. Resolution's beating into him. He does kill off Yapsor, which is a lot of gold, but you need to deal with Nisha eventually, and trying to run away is only going to do so much, down to about half HP, but still hanging on to that Aegis. Zai controlling and trying to kill off Rezu. Does get the time walk up to the high ground, so for the moment at least, they're holding, and they get the Inkswell. That was a good leap in as well, coming from Yawar, but mid one shows up with that BKB, and forward have no way to control the Monkey King at all, so he jumps down onto the low ground. Universe will fall. Zai now finding himself another. They buy back on Universe, trying to jump back into this one. MSS goes down as well, and it's a long TP back. Universe, can they kill off Zai here? Trying to bring him down. Nisha is going to actually be at relatively low HP, but ends up staying alive a little bit longer. Mid one jumps in again, trying to get back into their fountain from right over here to the side. Universe, is he going to get away? He does. And Zai eventually dives to the catapult. The Bloodstone heal was good, but not good enough.
Nisha's just been chilling, hitting the racks this entire time. He hasn't even really been that involved in the team fight. Just insanely difficult to deal with.
And they are trying to kill him off, but again, this is just an Aegis, and they're not even quite gonna get that one off. He's getting away on nothing. 50 HP as the stick charges afterwards. Nisha the liver as mid one takes down the racks with Puppy in tow. Man, oh man, this is a stomp.
Oh, 100%. This is Secret just looking amazing from the lanes through the mid game. I would say out-drafting forward a little bit, and then also just completely out-executing them at every turn. And forward, just it feels like their supports never really found a game at all here. Universe, I don't think he's played badly, but the Underlord's just not a super dynamic hero, so what can he really hope to accomplish in this situation? And Resolution has decent farm, but you know, the sum total of what he accomplished in the last fight was chronoing the Crystal Maiden and killing her off, and that's just not enough at this point of the game. 25k lead.
Well, they've doubled their damage on the Mirana at least, potentially.
The Mirana is less farmed than the Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, that's true. It ain't good. It ain't good.
But if you double that net worth with the double damage...
Oh my god. All right, Haunt comes out. They're gonna find and blow up the Mirana right at the start of it. MSS is dead. SVG is gone. Universe and Resolution also in trouble. No chance to time walk away. And I think it's time to press those 2 little letters for Forward Gaming, because this is feeling dang near over.
Yeah, Rezo had the BKB, but didn't use it before the Boundless Strike. And yeah, our forward... forward are one of those teams, I'm pretty sure, where they tend not to call it before, like, the throne is actually just about to explode. But no, there you go. This is too much, and they have a game to get to, so GG's.
Damn, that's a rough one. 29-5, just an absolute stomping. 30 minutes, 30,000 net worth lead, and Team Secret still looking like one of, if not the best team in the entire world here in the ESL One Katowice tournament. And Lacoste, welcome back again.
Thank you, guys. It was nice watching you working while I was picking my nose. Just kidding. I was enjoying the game. Team Secret, I would say, outdrafted Forward Gaming. You could see the downside of Forward Gaming's lineup, where they can't really make any kind of a play, especially when they're playing from behind with these two supports. You have Grimstroke and Witch Doctor, not heroes that can easily maneuver around the map, start a fight, and then you have an offlaner who's Underlord, and he can't do that much. The only reliable team fighting potential you have is Faceless Void. Mid got stomped as well. At one point, Yavar felt like he wanted to do something, but there's no hero that he can play with besides a Faceless Void, and Team Secret actually felt what Forward Gaming is doing. You called it around 15-minute mark. They want to make a play with the Chronosphere. They know it's up, and Team Secret just reads it so well, dodges it, completely outfarms them. It's just an outclass.
Anything else from you? That's pretty much... I mean, we talked about it in the game, I guess, too.
Yeah, we had plenty of time during the 30 minutes of that game to talk about everything that Secret were doing right, and Forward just have to... This draft, I felt very much like they just kind of went for comfort picks more than anything. I don't know what they're going to have to bring out for the next game. Maybe hold one of those support picks a little bit more closer to their chest. I really want to see Universe on more of a playmaker.
I want to see Jack on Venomancer, dire side.
Well, I hope we don't see that, but ladies and gentlemen, I hope we see you in just a few as we get ready for game number 2 here in Group A. More action to come. We'll see if Forward can bring it back or if Secret are going to remain dominant right after this.